Hi, everyone. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Jessica Vittas. She's a recruiter for KPMG, and she's here today to talk about networking and how to network and the importance of networking. So, Jessica, thank you so much for making time from your busy day to
Of
come speak
course.
with my students.
Thank you for having me.
Well, great. So Jessica, I have some questions I prepared in advance. So we're just going to go through these questions. And hopefully by going through these questions, you will be able to share a little bit of information about yourself, your background, information about KPMG, as well as the main focal point of our interview is about networking, like how do you network and why it is so important for students to know. All
Mhm.
right. So the first question I have is, could you just briefly introduce yourself? I mentioned before you're a recruiter at KPMG, but actually you're more than that. I mean, I looked at your background on LinkedIn. It's just amazing. You have a wealth of experiences. So could you
Mhm.
share a little bit about your background and your work experiences with my students?
Sure. So my name is Jessica Vittas, and I actually started my career with KPMG. I was in your shoes at one point as well and went through the recruiting process, attended KPMG sophomore leadership program, as well as interned in audit and then started full-time in audit after graduating. I worked in audit for a little over 3 years and then decided I wanted to get more experience in accounting and finance in the private sector. Spent about 5 years with Mattel, the toy company, and then found my way to a startup company called Wonder Spaces, where I worked in their finance director role. But when I heard of the opportunity to come back to the KPMG family as a campus recruiter, I knew that's where I wanted to be immediately, jumped at it, and now here I am back with my KPMG family.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, let's talk about KPMG a little bit. I mean, most people know that KPMG is referred to as a Big Four CPA firm, which means it's one of the four largest CPA firms in the world. It's extremely prestigious. Everybody wants to work for one of the Big Four firms. And so, could you share a little bit more information about KPMG and why it's such a great place to work for?
Sure. From a numbers standpoint, KPMG is in over 153 different countries. We have about 700 member firms, and in those firms, we have 207,000 professionals. Now, that's just from a data standpoint. What we like to call is the KPMG difference, which lets us stand out amongst the other firms, and that's due to us serving the best of the best. And our clients having that global mindset has put us in a position to also have a global mindset. But what we're really proud of is our culture. Our culture empowers our employees to strive for the best. And on top of our culture, what we're the most proud of is our KPMG family. We really support each other from day one and help each other succeed in all of our endeavors.
Great. I mean, just to let you know, I actually interned for KPMG myself many, many years ago when I was in college. So I interned for their Taipei, Taiwan office, International Executive Tax Services practice. And then later on, I also interned for their Silicon Valley office. So I am in some small ways part of the KPMG family as well.
You are. You've experienced it firsthand.
Yes. So my next question is, students often hear about interviewing tips workshops or resume writing workshops. You don't often hear about the networking workshops. Yet, I mean, it's really important, right? So why is learning about networking so important?
Well, when we survey our professionals, those who are successful say 80% of it is due to networking. Granted, networking does require a lot of effort, and I think some people can be intimidated, especially those who are more shy or more introverted. But when it comes down to it, it's really about the people that you are building relationships with and establishing your roots with. You not necessarily have to network up. I would say, 15 years from now, who you're really working with are those alongside you are your peers. So really building those relationships and just trying to have fun with it. Networking is really to help you succeed in your career. So building those genuine relationships with people can help take you places that you might not have even dreamed of before. And it's really about being genuine and being yourself. Networking is a two-way street. It's really getting to know others and, their background, and also allowing them to get to know you.
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. So, would you mind sharing some strategies with my students about how to network successfully?
Sure. I think one of the biggest networking events that campus recruiting is involved with is Meet the Firms. And I always tell my students there's 3 steps to conquering Meet the Firms: plan, attend, and follow up. Now, planning really involves researching, doing your homework, really knowing who the firms that you want to go talk to. When you walk in to Meet the Firms, there's probably over 70 plus firms in one room. Now, there's no way that you'll be able to go to each firm and establish genuine connections. So identify your top 5 to 6 firms that you're really interested in, and then back into that time in order to allot quality time in building relationships with those professionals. Do your research. Create good questions. As recruiters and professionals, we really appreciate when a student comes up to us with a very thought out question and isn't just asking questions to ask them. Now, the next part, or the next step, may seem the easiest, but for some people it might be the hardest. Actually attending the event, making sure that you are dressed professionally, that you have your portfolio with your questions written down. And for those who are more introverted or shy, bring a buddy. That will help you feel more confident and ease those nerves as you walk into a big networking event like Meet the Firms. So after speaking with professionals, your job isn't done yet. The last step is follow up. So those connections that you felt were very strong and genuine, you want to make sure that you follow up with those professionals and thank them for their time. You can follow up via email, you can follow up by giving them a call and leaving a voicemail. But when you do, make sure to give solid context, specific examples of what you guys talked about, because that shows the professional that you were really listening and really, really enjoyed speaking with them and appreciated the time that they shared with you. With these 3 steps, I'm sure you'll have a successful experience at Meet the Firms.
Jessica, these are great tips. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy day again to come share these tips with my students, to come talk to me on this video interview. So thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you at one of the future recruiting events that KPMG will be putting on.
Sounds good. Hope to see you soon.
Great. Thank you, and have a great day.